He's not going to follow through with like any of his combos. I don't know. I'm going to click call here. I kind of hate it, but gotta find some defense. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing, guys? Back on the grind. And we actually get limped too. So, like, a big risk is if I go for a raise here, he can just shove on me. He only has $100. 10-9 certainly doesn't mind just, seeing flops, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. And then I'm actually just going to lead out. Got a top pair. I know nothing about villain. If he starts to get aggressive, well, I mean, I have top pair, so, what is there to do? And so now the question is, do we keep betting? Do we go for a check? I'm just going to go ahead and keep betting. And okay, so that one's enough to take it down. Not what I wanted, but I'll take it. I'll keep an eye on this. Okay, so it looks like the 500 table is unfortunately on its way out, gonna break here. I'm gonna go ahead and sit out next BB. However, we are still playing this ace jack. Or actually here, since that guy left, I'm just gonna go straight up, sit out next hand. Get 3-bet ace jack is kind of indifferent between just flatting and 4-betting here. Given that it's like the last hand at the table, people spaz pre a little bit sometimes, and I really don't want to get into a situation where I'm 4-bet folding. So I'm going to start with the call. This is fine. It's not amazing, but it's fine. And flop second pair, top kicker, backdoor nut flush draw. Cool. Start off with the call. So the queen pairs, one thing that does is it makes it harder for villain to have a queen. If it's harder for him to have a queen, then, maybe my jack suddenly looks a little bit better. And he goes for the follow-up, and I'm not really sure how much weight I should put on the ace of spades here. I'm going to go ahead and click call. The issue with having the ace of spades here is a good amount of his bluffs are going to come from hands that either have, nut flush draws, or are going to be coming from just things like ace high with a spade. He'll be blocking some of my continue range with that. So I'm not thrilled about having this combo on the turn. Still decided to go for it. And then he actually makes like a pretty quick pot-sized jam. And now this is a tough spot. I'm not entirely sure if my spade matters here anymore. He's not going to follow through with like any of his combos. I don't know. I'm going to click call here. I kind of hate it, but gotta find some defense. If anything, I think the river is fine. I'm not entirely sure about turn. And actually, if this is going to keep going three-handed, let's play. Yeah, turn's dicey. But let's pop down here. Got straight against cherry wine. And actually getting overbet into, which is awesome, if I do say so myself. When he's going for an overbet like this, I'm just going to go call. I'm not going to have a huge check raising range against that. And then we get kind of one of the worst cards on the river. First off, the club flush comes in. Second, there are 4 to a straight, so it's a lot harder to get him to just bet with, say, king jack. You'll see a lot of checkbacks from those types of hands, and if he actually does bet, he's repping a much stronger range. And I'm not going to say I'm going to be in trouble, but it gets a little bit dicey. Let's have no money play. And okay, so we're back to three-handed now. I've gone ahead and overcalled in the small blind with 2 6s against an under-the-gun raise and cut-off call. And actually, hold on one sec, guys. Looks like there might be another game to jump into. Let's bring this one off to the side. And I'm just going to go ahead and start with the check call. We are 4-way. You do have to be a little bit cautious. Actually, let's put this over here so I can keep an eye on this stuff. So followed up with another check. DevCon Pro not raising is pretty nice for me, and then it checks through. Okay, so now there's a couple things we can try to do here. One of them is we could try to get value. If I'm going for a value bet, we're trying to get value out of a 4 or out of, I don't know, an ace high. That's really hard to do. So I'm going to go check and just like going to really try to click check call here if somebody bets. And up against a queen high and an ace high. The 6s are good. So this DevCon guy, this is the guy who called with queen high in the previous hand. And that is just awesome. So now we have him putting in a little bit of money here. I'm probably going to go for a check raise with the 9s as long as the big blind doesn't raise, essentially. And yeah, we're just going to go for the small 3x check raise here. So we know he likes to play a lot of junk. When we check raise, we're going to get called by a bunch of worse hands. All of that is great. However, in this situation, once the spade plus over card comes in, it is really hard to get value out of worse. But now the deuce. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go for a block size on river. Actually, no, I'm going to go for the half pot on river. And my goal is to just get called by an 8. I have a full house now, not worried about the flushes at all. Got our little heads up match here. I'm going to go up to, say, I don't know, 36. Let's go with 36 over the small 3-bet here. Certainly don't mind getting jammed on. Don't mind a call 9 high board. That's very safe. And I'm going to go kind of take my usual here, which is roughly a quarter pot. We're going to start off with that. We're going to see where it takes us. That is top set. So there are some situations in which you might want to slow play top set. 4-bet pots when the king peels or when an ace peels too. I think those are just turn cards where we want to apply a ton of pressure. So I'm just gonna go again here and toss in the second bet, and we're tossing in the third on literally any river. Heart, something that brings in a straight, ace, don't care that. That's actually pretty nice. Villain's gonna have a 9-1 smile. He might think about leading it even. And then we're just gonna look to snap him off. Okay, so I'm gonna go all in here. I'm also gonna toss in a peek here. Just got top set in a 3-bet pot. Couple top sets. Open for action on both of them. Okay, so villain hasn't called yet. He clearly doesn't have a 9. And I mean, at this point, just hoping he has something he wants to click call with. Don't care what it is. Z-White says works fine. Awesome. Oh, he's really going into the tank here. Okay. I've said this a few times before. When people start really going into the tank against me, they don't often fold, but we'll see. We'll see. 1 second left. Looks like he's timing out. Yeah, okay. He goes for the timeout, hoping for it. Okay, ace king's great. We got it at the 100 NL table, flopping pretty well. I'm going to start this off with a check. Also going to flash these queens over here at the 500 table. Ooh, okay, now let's stick with this one. We start this one off with a check. Really, really hope X-Source decides to bet. That's the dream. And he does, and he goes for half pot, which is, you know, kind of on the larger end of the spectrum for what you might expect from a button bet here. And we're going to go for the check call. So things like pocket 6s, super easy check raise. 10s might do a bit of both. The queens, we're slow playing them. Really wanted to see the overbet here. So, I mean, this is a bit of a weird spot. Like, when he goes half pot, he's repping something like top pair, which is a bit hard for him to have when I have two of these. I'm going to go ahead and take a raise here. We're going to go ahead and 3x this. This is a situation where I would expect an overbet from Villain a lot. And when he's not doing it himself, I'm going to have to come in. Now this is actually interesting. So now I'm going to go for the river check. Which, I mean, actually here, hold on. What's... Now, I think I have to do it. Like, if I'm betting and I have all the queens blocked, I mean, obviously if he has like a set or two pair, he's instantly stacking off. But I need to like shove this and get called by like a 10 a ton for like my shove to be worthwhile. So instead, I can go for the check on the river. If he has something like a 10, he'll check back. He actually had the top two, which is a ridiculous check back. Guys, don't ever make that check back, ever. But it also just allows him to bet all of his jack nines, his king jacks, his missed heart draws. Really not sure why he's doing that. Like, I could literally just have aces for value and he stacks me. Got a table over here that's breaking. Liquid Zero, I believe, is in the small blind this hand. There was a third player sitting here. I raise button. He's in the small blind. Tosses in the 3-bet. And then we just get, you know, top pair. And not really going to raise this one much. Just go ahead, click call, see a turn a bunch. The 7, that's fine. He's unlikely to have 4-5. I'm starting to question myself now. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because I have a strong hand here. We're in a 3-bet pot, whether this is small blind B button or like a heads up hand. It's just absolutely fine. I'll want to find shoves with this once in a while. I'm going to say, I don't know, maybe something like a quarter, a third of the time, something like that. I don't think my suits matter terribly here. And we get like a pretty low roll, so I'm just going to go call, and then we're going to call, what, every river? Even if the river's an ace, even if the river's like a 4. Of course it's a 4. Yeah, still gonna call. We just kind of have to, it's gonna be like a little over a half pot size bet, and we're nowhere near low enough in our range to be folding this type of hand. But the reason why I specifically said 4 is because things like ace 5 are getting there now, and that's no fun. Now the kind of interesting thought is what happens if he checks, and I'm pretty sure I should just be going for a value bet. Because I think this is still a spot where he'll want to just like go for value with aces, go for value with like 2 pair plus ace kings. So I'm going to go for what I'll call a thin value shove here. And hopefully I won't instantly regret it. We got ace queen at our 500 NL table. Easy start with a raise. Don't mind if X source comes along. Okay, he does decide to come along with a flat. And okay, so here we go. I'm going to start this one off with a check. I'm gonna often start these cutoff versus button spots with a check. That being said, like a board like this, you could toss out a bet. Like that's a thing. And he goes 2/3, which like usually we see him going for a lot of half pots, so gonna kind of keep an eye on that. Easy click call spot. And we're going to see where he follows up. Okay, so now he's going half pot. All right. Yeah, just easy call. The deuce on the river, probably fairly unlikely to hit him. Now, we've talked about what to do if this guy actually bets rivers previously. I think this is a very different situation from that hand where I'd pocket queens like, you know, a half hour ago or something. I'm going to click call here, but I'm honestly not terribly thrilled about it. I am hoping he's going to have value bets with worse hands, things like ace 10s, things like ace jack. Ideally, we're not always up against an 8 or better. And there's, I mean, even wider than that, he goes for the ace 6. And we just get to, yeah, click call, collect a nice little pot. Actually, I got a limper here against my ace king, and this guy, he's at least doubled up. I'm just gonna start with a little bet. So he goes for the quick call. Then now the question is, how do I get more value out of him? Do I just go for like another block bet? Do I go for a big bet? Do I go ahead and check to him? I'm going to go for the second block bet. And I'm going to go for... Now I'm just going to go for a bit bigger. Yeah. I'm less concerned about the spades now. I think my hand is great. So we go for the value bet. He clicks call. We're good. Perfect. Those lovely queens again. So we get shoved on. This is just going to be a call. Ace 10 offsuit. That's an optimistic shove. Don't you dare give it to him. Thank you. Let's look at this flop. So we are three-way here. 4 science, a Panzerzak, and potato. I'm starting with a check here always. And okay, so I've improved my hand. I've improved my hand now. How do we get value here? I mean, I could just go ahead and toss in a bet and get called by like a bunch of aces and stuff, and I think that's just kind of fine. If anybody holds just, you know, something like an ace 10 offsuit, like an ace 9 of hearts or something, they're just going to check this swap back. So I'm actually just going to go for a small one here. And then, so like, what's the concern here? Ace 7 specifically? Yeah, I mean, not really. I also think he would have bet flop or raised turn if he had a better flush draw, so I'm actually just going to go for an overbet on this river. Yeah, really not concerned about the 7, though I would have preferred a blank. He's just going to have ace whatever, he's going to click call, and I'm going to be happy. And he does in fact have ace whatever. Alright guys, 2 cards and a dream again. Didada, how you doing? Yeah, we've been getting a few nice hands. And yeah, so here's another one, going up to 22 here against Stabile with the 2 aces. We very much want to see a 4-bet. Also, if he does 4-bet, I want to see him adjust sizes to the slightly deeper stack depth, as he does. And like, what is this? This is like a shove like half the time, give or take. Yeah, we can go for the shove this time. I'm not terribly picky. We get called aces versus queens. Oh, that is a good flop. There we go, guys. Even rivering the full house didn't matter. He's drawing nearly dead on the flop, drawing dead on the turn. And we got ourselves what's turning into a nice little stack here, guys. $638 US sitting in front of me. And then, I mean, it's an annoying spot if he just goes raise flop and then just like check back random king 5 and he snap calls me here, but I do think we are going for a little bit of a bet. You know, if I want to talk about, you know, nice qualities of my hand here, I do have a diamond. There's 3 diamonds on board, so we block a flush. That's great. He's also just going to be relatively weak there when he goes min raise flop raise turn or check back turn. And okay, guys, I had a pot with Easty today. Oh, for you, I play, goes for the call. Easty goes for the call. Guys, we are 3-way, and that is an ace-high board. Just going to toss in the small bet. Top pair, top kicker, backdoor nut flush draw. Come at me, Easty. Oh. Okay. How do we manage this? I mean, ace queens are possible for EC. I am assuming he does a lot of check raising with his low sets. I'm actually going to take check back here. I'm really not all that worried, but I do have an excellent spot with top pair plus nut flush draw. I'm just going to go like this. We're going to see a river. That deuce is, you know, mostly harmless. You know, guys, just because it's Easty, okay, this is not the highest EV line. Just go for the min raise. All right, what did he have? How much value did I just miss out on? He had the ace jack. Okay, I missed out on, I don't know, at least a few bucks of value. I was hoping he'd click it back. I was hoping we'd get into a fun spot. But yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, Easty is my teammate on the 888 Poker Stream team. Happy with anything but a 4-bet, though I will take a peek here. How often is he 4-betting? Yeah, roughly a normal amount. We flopped a straight. This is actually going to start off with a big bet, I think. Just like 3/4. Yes. Okay, so we're going to start off with 3/4. We're looking to build a nice, hefty pot. If he check raises, he's literally never pure bluffing, so we just go all in and he's going to call. But we'll see. Oh, he just decides to go all in for me. Okay, I'll take that. Guys, don't do that. I don't know why he did that. I mean, maybe that's a thing. I don't know. It's been a while since I looked at that spot in a solver, but I mean, I'll take it. It really just seems like a spot. I mean, he has a good pair, good-ish pair, and the board is scary as hell, you know? Flush draw, straight draw. He doesn't even necessarily want to see like random overcards on the turn. I get that. I 100% get that. So he just decides to go all in. The thing is, like, going all in is a really big bet. And he is going to get called by some hands that he is ahead of. That's fine. But he's also going to get called by straights. He's also going to get called by jacks, queens, kings, and aces, all at full frequency. So yeah, that one's dicey. And I mean, the thing is, like, even if I have a good flush draw, like, if I have enough flush draw there, I'm a favorite. Especially, like, you know, ace, jack of spades, 2 overcards to his 10s plus the gutter, yeah. Even if he has the spade in hand, like, that's all me. Okay, you know what, guys? Reasonably solid day today. Let's stick this in this view right here. Made $547. Started off very poorly. That's an all-in at 500 NL. I unfortunately lost, but we quickly recovered. Running a little bit above EV today. Hell yeah, I'll take it. Showdown, non-showdown. Okay, both lines up. Awesome. And then what were results by stake? Oh yeah, so lost 1 buy-in at 500, 170 hands there. I struggled to get a lot of volume there. Then played some 200 NL, made 700 bucks there, 300 at 100. Snap. I will take that. Great result for a nice little 4-hour afternoon stream. And right, guys, that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. So here's the schedule moving forward. Tomorrow is a flex day. I might stream, I might not. Following, subscribing, having your notifications on, being in the Discord, that's the best ways to keep track of when the streams go live. So tomorrow is a flex day, then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm streaming every single one of those days. Remember, we got the free roll happening on Wednesday, so 500 bucks going to be up for grabs in the 888 Poker Community free roll here. I think that's it for me. Guys, I think I'm done. Thank you so much for watching. Might see you tomorrow, definitely see you the day after. Have a good one.